Hey there, friends. It's Reasonably Prudent Vegan again, bringing you another race report for February 10th, 2019. We ran the Superheroes versus Villans half marathon in Houston, down by University of Houston this morning. And I wish I could tell you it was as awesome as it sounds, but I don't think we've ever hated a race more. So I'm gonna let my partner here go first, and yeah.
All right. Well, first the bib. It's a generic one from this timing place here.
Forgivable.
Yeah, I mean,
but in the scheme of things, nothing is forgivable.
so the metal is pretty cool, actually. At least that part. The back is just plain black, but the lanyard is sorry, it's upside down, but it's for the three of them together, which non-race specific ones is a little irritating. Hi, Kimmy Cat.
Hi, Kimmy. It's lame, actually.
Lame. That's the word I was looking for.
Especially, oh, sweetheart. Okay, she just wanted to say hi. She says she didn't get to run, but she ran around the house like a crazy cat. Okay, no, we're not going to do that because you're going to knock it off. I know. It's not fair. Do you want to say hi? She says no.
So there's two different shirts, which is interesting. This is the Villans one, and it says the name of the race group on the front. And it stinks because I wore it afterwards.
Oh. And then here's the superheroes. So when you sign up, you decide if you're going to be a villain or a superhero. I thought it was a joke, or that it would be on the bib, so I made him the villain and myself the superhero. I'm glad I did, though, because we got two separate shirts. I mean, honestly, again, when I saw them this morning, I was like, they're kind of crappy. I don't think they're going to last. But it's a charity organization, so again, forgivable.
Yeah,
but not, yeah.
All right, so let me paint a picture of the morning. So roll a clip. It is 6:27 in the morning, 30 minutes before the race starts, 33 minutes. There are about 6 porta potties, and none of them have toilet paper.
We got toilet paper.
Yeah, we were the last ones.
Benefit of getting here early.
It's bad. So this was the start line, 6 a.m. They had 8 porta potties. I think I said 7 in that video, but they had 8 for over 400 people. And they were out of toilet paper at
6 o'clock.
6:30, whenever it was, we got there.
We got there at 6.
So they had to go get some, but I don't think that it got there until about 5 minutes before the race was supposed to start. So there was a giant line across the street and into the park from these 8 porta potties. And let me paint the picture here. Say my arm is the porta potties, which is fine, and then there's a bunch of lines coming out here. Start line was right here.
Yeah, like right by the
right in the middle.
Potties.
And everybody was lined up to go this way, and
people are like
7 when the race is supposed to start.
Right.
They said, you need to go around the other side because we're going this other way.
Right, so everybody's facing, so we're on a street, and then the porta potties are on the street. We're all facing out, thinking that's the way we're going, because there's like a 1 mile sign randomly right there. So here's the half marathoners, here's the 10Kers trying to go to the bathroom with no toilet paper, and then the race director comes out with a useless bullhorn and says, I need everybody to turn around and look at me because we're going this way, and I need you to back up 50 feet. So
he's got it pointed straight up in the air so you can't hear anything he's saying.
Right. So we all back up and we all scooch in.
10Kers are just like,
yeah.
So
yeah.
Then
we didn't start on time.
It started about 5 or 6 minutes late. He counted down from 3 to 1 twice. We couldn't hear what he was saying. I think he said, this is what I'm going to do. And then he did it. Like, I'm going to count down from 3, 2, 1. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Right. It made no sense. This is after he gives this instruction that basically goes like, so it's kind of a confusing course, but this is what you're going to do. But don't worry. I promise you I've got volunteers out there. It's going to be fine.
Yeah,
it wasn't
all the
fine.
while pointing this bullhorn straight up in the
Straight
air
in
so
the
you
air.
can't hear what he's saying.
Yeah, he heard it. I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it. I heard
Oh.
about every third word. He just said, there's loop here, you go this way, then there's another one, and then it's back up this way, and you're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right, exactly, because it was supposed to be the half marathoners do 2 loops, and the 10Kers do 1 loop, which the math doesn't work on that, right? So we kind of were like, well, maybe we have to do an extra 1 mile loop. So when they sent us out, the first loop is almost a mile before you go to the big loop that you do twice, which is where.
Right. So they started the 10K 10 minutes after the half started. So
They had to. There's no
Yeah.
way. Sorry.
nothing.
Sorry.
Anyway, they start the 10K about 10 minutes after the half starts. And if you think about this 1 mile loop around the park, how long does it take most of these people to do a mile? So you went around the park, and then you had to turn and go around the park again to start your real loop, since it was like a 6 mile loop that you did twice and then one to make it 13. So just let me see. I made it through, and it must have been right behind me that the 10Kers came up, because I went through and then they all came and went straight, whereas
The half marathoners
yeah,
are
we're
supposed to
supposed
do
to
it
turn.
twice.
so there was no one there to tell people, look, 10K goes this way, half marathon goes this way.
They weren't. Yeah, they had the sign that said half marathon, and they're, you're doing great this way. And then, but because I was so much further behind, I was with the 10Kers, and I said, which way do I go? And they said, no, go that way. Go do your loop.
Yeah, so I made it, and the people in front of me, but I think it was like right behind me that they.
Right, shortly after. So essentially, what happened is before I got to mile 2, he passed me, and it confused me because I'm like, how did he get behind? There's no way he did that whole 6 mile loop. So I'm already confused. And to make matters worse, my Fitbit is on target with their signs. So when I hit 3 miles, I was at 3 miles. When I hit 9 miles, I was at 9 miles.
None of the signs were in the right place.
Mm-mm.
They weren't. There were a couple that seemed to be on jive with her for some reason, but I don't think there was a 12. It went from 11 to 13 just at the end.
Right.
And they were all a mile or two off.
Mm-hmm. Which meant when I got to the finish line, my Fitbit said 11.56 because I missed that loop, which was so frustrating.
Well, and it was when I got to the finish, there was at least a guy there that said, are you at 13? Then go this way, and if you're at 11, you forgot this loop.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what happened, because by the time I went and changed my shirt at the car and walked back to wait for her, there's no one. And about 10 minutes later, the cop that was directing traffic at this main intersection just kind of disappeared too. So there was no one there, and everybody walked past or ran past, just like, where am I supposed to go?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it wasn't just that. So I went around the loop. I started on my little track out there. I got to the first aid station, and I was like, okay, here we go. There was 2 or 3 people there. It's in the college district there, so they're all these little college kids that had absolutely no idea what they're doing. The first one, there was 3 or 4 of them. They all had their hoodies on like this. It's like 55 degrees, so they're all just sitting around shivering. And one of them's actually handing out water like this. You're like, I don't want you to my cup. Hold it like this, like normal people. But anyway, she had 2, and then there's like 50 runners coming at her, and she has no idea what to do. And they got the table like 20 feet off in the over here, so you can't just grab it. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll get one at the next one. I get to the next one, and it's the same thing. And they had at least a little more enthusiasm. They were trying, but I mean, they had 2 cups of water, and when the in front of you takes all of it, and then his girlfriend has to wait, the whole people behind him just stop, because there's this little trick where all the cares are walking abreast, and it's like, get out of the way. But that's another rant for another day. It doesn't really have to do with the race. It's the people participating. Excuse me, I'm still choking. So then I went around my loop, and the other 2 aid stations, I didn't get anything because it was the same thing. So I got to the thing, and I did my second loop and got back to these first aid stations. It was the same thing, but there was half as many policemen and absolutely no volunteers except for the 2 or 3 at each aid station. So I'm like, okay, I don't remember exactly where I turned around because I was pissed at the aid station back there, but so thankfully there's still enough people to follow the herd. But it's just, there were no signs. There was the occasional mismarked distance sign, but there was no, like, turn here or go across the bridge. Just like, this looks good. I mean, everybody's going here, so it must be right. And then I get back to the start, and there's, like I said, the guy saying, half marathoners, if you're at 13, go this way. And then he just kind of disappeared. But it just, I was so pissed off the whole time because of this start, because of the end, because I knew when I passed her that she had messed up, and if she messed up after having doing 60-something races, everybody behind me probably got messed up. And then they started late and all this, and I'm just like, this is the most disorganized, unprofessional race I've ever seen. And it's not just because it was small. It was bad. We've done some really small races and some big ones,
And when you looked up your timing, the race isn't even named correctly when you look up the timing.
yeah, it's not. And then I just clicked on it because it was today on this website on these bibs, and it happened to be it. But yeah, everything. The only thing I could think of that I liked about this was it was a course we hadn't run before.
I've run in McGregor Park. It's nice.
Okay, well, I hadn't.
No, I mean I would. I liked it. Is what I meant.
Oh yeah, the park was nice. There were trails for a couple, like gravel paths, not trails, that were pretty muddy. But I don't know. The costumes were all right. I imagine all those people had some wicked chafing issues when they got done.
The chicken dude for sure.
And I saw one girl running in like a leather Catwoman outfit. I'm like, holy crap, you poor woman.
That's dedication.
But yeah, and the race director, anytime someone comes at you and says, this is my, 34th race that I've directed, and I've never had them deliver porta potties.
Without toilet paper.
Yeah, anytime someone says, this is my 34th race, or my 10th year doing this, and I've never had this, just tune them out because they don't know what they're talking about. But that guy should be embarrassed and ashamed, and all those volunteers should be too. Normally, even when they don't know what they're doing, they're enthusiastic and want you to do well. Not these ones. These ones were...
You're almost there.
There were a few that were in the park when you were just about to turn on your second loop that I think were genuinely happy and excited. But other than that, it was just useless. I mean, if I hadn't had my fuel bottle, I would have been really dehydrated. So anyway, I've been debating about this. And we've been talking for 12 minutes already, but my Keanu rating for this one is 1 Judge Reinhold, because he's not worthy of the Keanus.
Judge Reinhold. I gotta find a Judge Reinhold now.
Yes, so that's my rating, because he doesn't even rate a 1 Keanu. I would say this, what is it, heart and soul, like soul of your shoe racing?
Yeah.
I'm never going to do one of their races again.
No.
So.
Okay, my turn. Everything he said, plus, I missed the turn, and I don't think I'm an idiot. Their lady with the half marathon sign standing at where I should have turned to finish mile 1 and start mile 2. I looked at her and said, which way do I go? And she says, go this way. So I went that way. Then he passes me, and I think to myself, oh, I made a mistake. I did something wrong. But then every time I got to like mile 3, what's wrong?
Is that pee? Did he pee on my water bottle?
No, it's not pee.
What is it?
I don't know.
There's this weird stuff. It wasn't there before. Okay, continue.
To my point, he interrupts me for weird stuff all the time.
I think the cat peed on my water
The
bottle.
cat did not pee on your water bottle.
You don't know.
I do know. You would have heard the sound of dripping water on metal if he had done that. We both would have been alerted.
Stop getting distracted.
You started it. Anyway, my watch was on point. Like, I think I hit mile 3 on my Fitbit. Thank you, Vincent. You and your daddy. Vincent's butt. Anyway, so that's what was confusing, is that he lapped me that quickly, and I don't even know how he got behind me, right? But then my Fitbit seems to be hitting all of the mile markers. They only marked mile 1, 2, no, not even 2, mile 1, 3, 5, 9, and 13. if I remember correctly. So by the time I got on the second big loop, the police officer was already gone. I had to cross the street by myself, and that actually happened in 3 places. The volunteers were useless. Most of them were on their phones. At one point, they send you through a parking lot. Someone actually pulled out while right after the race had started, and we had to stop and wait. Like I just. Anyway, I came home and finished my race because I wanted to earn my medal, which, by the way, hurts so much worse after you've been driving for 40 minutes. But I did it.
Yes, proud of you for that.
Thank you. So, anyway, it was stupid and it sucked, and we're not doing it again.
Yeah, you need to email that race director.
Yeah. So anyway, we have another race next week in Galveston, and I have high hopes that one will be good because that's an old race. They've been doing it for a while, but we'll let you know how it goes, and we'll see you next time.
Wait, what did you rate it?
Oh, I was gonna rate it 1 Keanu because nobody died, and that was an absolute possibility. But I guess I'm just gonna go with your dry and hold rating. So I was gonna talk about how I felt about my effort, but maybe another video. So no, another video.
Okay.
But we'll see you next time.